So, what is the magnitude and direction of the resultant of two forces both at 15 Newton magnitude but with different directions? The first one at 30 degrees while the other one is at 50 degrees. So, F1 and F2 are 50 Newton, sabi niya. Pero yung isa, naka-angulo na 30 at yung isa, naka-angulo na 50. So, I'm sure ang una nyo gagawin dyan is kunin nyo yung X and Y components, the F1 and F2. Pero, what if you don't have to, I say. So, go into mode, and then go into complex 2. Kita nyo, naka-complex kapag complex yung nakalagay dito. And then, let's shift 2, yung may complex dito. Lalabas dyan yung mga parts ng complex. And we will be using our angle theta, number 3. Ayan. At yung I naman sa complex will stand for y-axis. So, kung, for example, nakalagay ito, 12 minus 5i, ganyan. So, that would mean, ang x mo is 12, ang y mo is negative 5. So, ganun lang sa complex. And we have also another thing, x shift. Pag pinindot mo yung shift, meron tayong angle dito. So, may negative angle. Sabihin natin y. So, x will be your magnitude. Ito na yung may square root na siya. And y natin is yung angle. So, in this case, our angles are 30 and 50. While our x, ang magnitude natin is 50 and 50. So, 50 angle 30 plus 50 angle 50. So, pwede pong i-equal to. Pag in-equal mo, lalabas ay yung x and y components. Yung sinabi ko kanina. Ayan. So, we have 75.44x. At ang y mo is 63.3i. So, answer natin, shift 2 and 3. Yung pinakita ko kanina. We will have our angle and we have our magnitude and angle rather. So, ito na ang resultant mo. So, let's have number 2. So, number 2 naman, ang hinahanap mo. So, number 2 states that if the resultant of two vectors is 2 kilonewton and is acting vertically to the south, what is the magnitude and direction of the second force? If the first force is 1 kilonewton acting directly to the east. So, yung resultant mo daw, sinabi niya agad, is pababa, directly south. Which you can input sa calcu, ganito. Sabi niya is 2 kilonewton to angle either 270 from the positive y-axis or negative 90. From the pag 270, that is counterclockwise na ikot. Andito ka pag ganyan si 270, and of course negative 90 would be right here. So F1 plus F2 would be equal to FR. At si F2 ang hinahanap natin given our F1. Therefore ang F2 is simply equal to FR minus F1. So we only have 2 kilonewton angle negative 90 minus 1 angle 0. Bakit angle 0? Kasi sabi niya directly to the east. So flat lang siya. Shift 2, 3 para. So actually itong nalabas sa sagot dito is called the polar form, guys. Hopefully you're already familiar with the polar form, our angle theta. So we will have F2 is 2.24 angle negative 116. Ayan. So that is same lang nito. Ganito siya paikot yan. So andito pala ang tunay na position ni F2. He is somewhere right over here. So andun pala ang tunay na position niya. So let's have number 3. If two forces 30 kilonewton and 20 kilonewton are separated by 50 degrees, what is the resultant force? So same to na number 1, hindi niya sinabi kung kanino yung 30 degrees. So that can either be 30 angle they are separated by 50 degrees plus 20 angle 0, either ganyan, or si 20 yung may angle na 50 at si 30 ay may angle na 0. So shift 2, 3. So we have 45.51 magnitude niya at ang angle niya is 30.33. So let's have number 4 then. An airplane has a speed of 120 miles per hour and is heading in a direction due north. There is, ito pala may correction dito kasi since galing to sa book, may correction dito. There is a crosswind of 15 miles per hour and then 30 degrees east of north. What is the speed of the airplane and what is its direction? So kunin muna natin yung, so hindi ko pala ginamit yung component method simply because I saw that yung crosswind natin is at an angle of 30 degrees east of north. So with respect to the y-axis, positive y-axis. So sabi niya kung andito yung 50 mph mo, pag minus natin yan sa 90, we will have this part. But pag gagawin mo sa dalawang vector na yan, yung speed ng airplane mo is directly north, flat lang siya, at yung crosswind mo is at an angle. So this is another method in graphing vectors. Ito, if I'm not mistaken, is the polygon method, or ito yung dugtong-dugtong, yung buntot ni isang vector dugtong sa isang vector, and so on and so forth. So what I'm trying to do here is using the cosine law. So back to where we are. So 30 minus 90, we will have 60 over here plus 90 din kasi andito nga siya para makuha natin yung buong angle dito, which is alpha. Alpha then would be equal to 150 since it is 60 plus 90. So using our cosine law, so yung R natin, ang opposite niya is yung nakuha natin, si 150. So yung 120, yung opposite niya, kung ano man yung angle dito, at yung 15, kung ano man yung angle dito. So if that's the case, we will use the cosine law, which is ang R natin, R squared is equal to A squared plus B squared minus 2AB times cosine of theta. So this is a simplified version of that method. So if that's the case, R then R squared will be equal to 120 squared plus 15 squared minus 2 times 120 times 15 of cosine 150 degrees. So let's input. Keep in mind this is R squared, so may square root dapat tayo dito. Square root 120 squared plus 15 squared minus 2 times 120 times 15 times cosine 150. Ayun, we have a resultant of 133.20. So this would surely have a angle, pero pinapahanap niya lang is yung resulta. So let's have number 5. Given 3 vectors, vector 1 is 500 Newton at 30 degrees Celsius, 30 degree. Vector 2 is at 300 Newton at 150 degrees, and vector 3 is 40 Newton at 270 degrees. What is the magnitude of the resultant vector? So ito yung maganda, kasi given niya na rin lahat, so plug and play na lang tayo. So ang vector 1 natin is 500 Newton an angle of 30. Itong vector 2 natin is 300 Newton at an angle of 150 degrees, at ang third vector natin is at 270 degrees. So don't forget shift to 3 para kagad our angle theta na. Hindi na kayo mag-square root ulit, dire-diretso na siya sa calculus. We will have a resultant of 173. Wala siyang angle. So this is angle 0. Wala siyang kasama. So we have an resultant of 173.21 or 205. So let's have number 6. So if you are given two forces at right angles to each other, what is the magnitude of the resultant force if the two forces are 50 Newton each? So signal ko kanina to. Kaso in this case 90 degrees ang pagitan. So if 90 degrees ang pagitan, hindi niya rin sinabi ulit kung sino ang angle. So we can either have, mali pala yung nasulat ko dito, 5 lang, that's supposed to be 50. So we have 50 angle 0. Keep in mind they are separated by 90 degrees, so yung isa nasa angle 0 plus 50 angle 90. So shift to 3 natin, giving us 70.71 magnitude at an angle of 45 degrees. So this should be nasa gitna to. So let's have number 7. So a 10 kilogram box is being pulled by 50 Newton force that is inclined at 20 degrees with respect to the horizontal. What is the component of the force that is parallel to the surface in which the box is being pulled? So panggulo. Kasi paano ko sabi panggulo? Kasi sinabi niya 10 kg. And then sinabi niya naka-incline ka at may force ka na 50 Newton. So unang gagawin mo, diba? Kunin mo si mg. So yun ang unang isipin mo. Kaya nasabi kong panggulo siya. Keep in mind, pero sinabi niya kasi, what is the component of the force that is parallel with the surface? Padiretso sa surface. So hindi siya weight, hindi rin siya normal force. So pag sinabi niya yan, alam mo na yung 10 kg na sinabi niya, panggulo. So we have 50 Newton na force, ang plane mo is naka angle siya ng 20. So giving us 46.98 985 yung x mo, ang y mo is 17.101. So let's have number 8. So if you're given two vectors, vector A is 5i plus 8j plus 3k, and ang vector B mo is 35i plus 4j minus 9k. What is the angle between the two vectors? So yung angle, you can solve it in two methods, which is a dot b multiplied by absolute value or magnitude of a and magnitude of b cosine theta. You can also get our angle at a cross b is equals to magnitude ng a times magnitude ng b sine theta. So we can get our angle at any method. So yung magnitude niya is resultant lang. So kung ang a natin is 5i plus 8j plus 3k, edi ang magnitude mo is square root of 5 squared plus 8 squared plus 3 squared. So that is 5 squared plus 8 squared plus 3 squared. So keep in mind, sa nilagay ko lang dito kasama yung i, pero tatanggalin mo na si i. Since our magnitude is scalar, wala ka ng i, j, k, wala ka ng x, y, z, giving us So, one more thing to note here. Sa magnitude, when it comes to unit vector pala yung mga to. Ang only purpose nila is to point. So, as much as possible, try to have whole number. So, since 9.89 yun siya, let's have 10. I know it's a stretch, pero okay na yan. So, we have 35 squared naman sa pangalawa, plus 4 squared, plus 9 squared. Oh, 9 squared na agad nalagay ko. So, wala na akong pake kung ano yung angle nun. Kasi since pag na-squared na yun, mawala naman din yung negative. Therefore, RB will be 36.36. So, let's say 36 lang siya. Yun. So, let's try and use the first method, which is divide natin by yung A dot B, divide natin ng magnitude nila. A dot B times 10 times 36, let's already have it here, 360. Pero huwag natin kalimutan naka-angle si cosine. So naka-angle si cosine, so let's isolate cosine by multiplying arc cosine sa equation. So cosine raised to negative 1. Yun. So yung problema natin dyan, paano yung dot product. So let's divert from complex, mag-move tayo ulit, and let's go into vector. So vector 1, and make sure 3-dimensional since IJK tayo. And we will, let's say, I recommend using yung vector na lang pag ganito na yung given. Kasi, as you can see, may 2-dimensional din dito na pwede mo rin gamitin dun sa kanina, which sa component method nga siya. Kunin mo na yung x, kunin mo na yung y. So let's have 5i equal lang 5i 8j and 3k. So ayun na yung unang vector natin. Let's move lang ulit, move 8 yung vector b natin, 3-dimensional din. We have 35, 4, and then negative 9. So easy lang, easy, simply easy lang. So simply easy lang, and we will plug in this whole equation. So arc cosine muna times its quantity natin. So shift 5 yung may vector, shift natin, may vector dito 5, you will be up to this settings. So 3 tayo, vector, at kung nakita nyo rin kanina, may dot dito. Ayun, ayun lang pala siya, dot. So sa case mamaya, or let's say may isa pang case dito, so ito is for dot product, and syempre times lang for cross product. Shift 7. So naka-divide siya by 360. So let's say double check natin parenthesis. So this will hopefully give us 60. So nasa choices ba 60? Yes, nasa choices. So our angle is simply 60 degrees. So let's try it. Theta is equals to negative 1 A cross B over 360 din. Tingnan natin kung same na siya. So arc sine of quantity ulit para hindi ka maguluhan, since ganito lang ang divide mo, hindi siya fraction form. So shift ko vector times shift vector b cross product divided by 360. Let's see. May namali ako. Oh, nag-math error siya. So, ayaw niya pag ano. So, in theory, same lang ang magiging labas na output dito. So, let's have number 9. So, number 9 is two vectors when combined will have a resultant vector of 500 Newton with an angle of 150 degrees. If the first vector is 250 Newton at 30 degrees, what is the magnitude and direction of the second vector? So tulad lang na kanina, F1 plus F2 would have a FR resultant. At yung FR natin is 500 newtons with an angle of 150 degree. At ang F1 mo is 250 with an angle of 30 degree. So asan si F2? Gaano siya kalakas at saan siya pupunta? So isolating F2 again, we have FR minus F1 giving us 500 angle. So 500 angle 150 minus 250 angle 30 shift 2t para magiging R angle theta agad sabihin natin, giving us our F2 is 661.438, an angle of 169.1011 rather. So with respect to x-axis na yun. So let's have number 10. What is the dot product of the vectors? A is equals to 6i plus 4j minus 5k, and B is 5i plus 3j plus 7k. What is the dot product? So shift. So naging blanco na siya, wala na yung kanina. 6i 4j minus 5k. Let's have vector B. It is 5i 3j and 7k. So shift 5 for vector, shift 5 and 3, shift 5 and 7 for that, 4, yielding us 7. Nasa 7. Yes, 7 is in the choices. So, what is the length of a vector? So, kapag sinabing length of a vector, it is also equivalent to its magnitude. So, kung may vector tayo na 2, 4, 4, that would basically mean ang x mo is 2, ang y mo is 4, ang z mo is 4. Or, sa unit vector terms, ang 2 mo is i, ang 4 mo is j, ang 4 mo is k. So, getting our resultant doon or magnitude would be simply square root of 2i squared plus 4j squared plus 4k squared. So that would be 16 plus 16. So that would be 32 plus 4, that would be 6. So let's have number 12. So may resultant first ka. It is acting directly to the north. You have what? You have an F1 at the fourth quadrant with an angle of negative 30. So kung negative 30, it's clockwise yung ikot ng angle mo. Your F2 is acting directly to the west, and yung F1 is unknown. Hindi mo alam ang direction niya, hindi mo alam ang magnitude niya, which is why siya ang hinahanap natin. So he is necessary in us getting our FR. Since ang given mo is FR na, so reverse bias siya. So we know that F1 plus F2 plus our unknown force, F, is equal to FR. Isolating F, we will be given FR is simply equal to negative the quantity F1 plus F2. So finactor ko lang si negative dito. So ang FR mo pala, acting direct to the north, it is 300 pound. Your F2 is acting directly to the west is 500 compounded. Ang F1 mo is acting 240 LB din siya, angle negative 30. So kung ang lahat ng given mo forces is in LB or feet per second, just dapat para-paraw sila. If they are in English, all units must be in English. If they are in SI, all units must be in SI. So in our case, it is in English, so we don't have to take care of anything. So our resultant is 300 angle 90, acting directly to the north. Quantity, ang F1 mo is 240, angle negative 30, or okay, either negative 30 ang ilagay mo or 330. So that would result in the same answer, 180, giving us a resultant ay F unknown force of F is equals to 511 511.62 at ang angle of 55.18. Yun. So we have all this over. So let's have another sine law. Kung yung kanina cosine law, this is naman is yung kanina cosine law, ito naman is sine law. So both sine and cosine law are another method in solving our lengths and our angles, but it's only limited pag dalawa lang angle mo. So we can say that C is our resultant and A and B are our forces, ganyan. So we have sides ABC, which in A is unknown and C is unknown, but B is equal to 28 feet. So we have sides A, capital B, capital C. So they have an angle respective to them. So RC is angle 102, ang B is 229, at ang A mo is unknown. So saan ka rin si 49? So that came from here. So angle ni A plus angle ni B plus angle ni C is equals to 180. We know from a triangle ang degree dyan is 180. So solving for A here, we have 180 minus 102 minus 29, yielding us 49. So we will use the sine law, which kung ano yung angle sides na to, ano yung side na to, kung ano man ang side na to, yung opposite na angle niya ay yung nasa baba niya. So kung ito, so C ang resultant mo, si 102 yung angle niya, which if you recall sa ano kanina, number 4, we did the same thing. Very similar siya sa cosine law, which in most of the time they are in pair. So A is equals A over sine, which is 49. Ang B natin nun, 28 feet, is over sine 29. Ang C natin, C is over sine 102, giving us this. So solving for A, cross multiply natin. So since A lang hinarap natin, pwede natin tanggalin yung isa pa dito. We'll only be dealing with A over sine A is equals to 28 sine 29, giving us A times sine 29 is equals to 28 sine A. So capital A na lang para di na A degree na lang para di na ito. So A times sine 29 is equals to 28 sine A degree. So A degree we know is 49. So isolating A dito, divide tayo by sine 29 will give us 28 sine 49 sa A divided by sine 29, giving us an A of 43 43.59. Keep in mind they are in feet, since a feet 28 ay in feet. Similarly, since si C ang hinaharap natin, we can remove this part in the equation. So we'll only be doing 28 over sine 29 is equals to C over sine 102, giving us C times sine 29 is equals to 28 sine 102. So giving us sine 28 sine 102 all over sine 29, giving us C is 56.49. Oh, yun yung sagot. So let's have number 14. Ito ang pumatay sa amin sa midterm exam. So we have a resultant force with a magnitude of 500 east of north 60 degrees. So kung i-x-axis natin siya, that's 30 degrees na. Ay F2 of acting directed to the north, 200 Newton. F3 is in the second quadrant, hindi na binigay yung angle niya, pero may binigay siya na small triangle doon. So let's get in that later. Ang F1 mo is nasa ilalim lang ng FR natin at siya ang hahanapin natin. So pakalaman muna natin yung kanina, yung F3. So F3 has a inner triangle. We have a side 12, 5n, a resultant of 13 doon. So yung angle sa loob ng triangle na yun is same sa angle sa labas. So yung angle din dito is same lang na ma-solve natin. So ito yung, these are the possible combination that you will do. Cosine alpha is equals to 12 over 13, adjacent over hypotenuse. Sine alpha is opposite over hypotenuse, 5 over 13, and tan alpha is opposite over adjacent, yes, 5 over 12. So you can do that by arc cosine mo, makuha mo si alpha. What if sinabi kong hindi? So I'm sure from EDA you are already familiar with NPR and NCR. Di ba kayo nakakurus ano si Paul, ano si Rec? Well, that's exactly what we've been doing since kanina. So kita mo yung F2 mo is acting directly to the earth. It is at 90 degrees. So we have 200 angle 90. So that's a polar form. Ang rectangular form is yung X and Y, si component method. So anong relation dito? So if we shift tayo and kunin natin si Paul, so kung ipapasok mo dito is X, Y, ay na ipapasok mo sa part na yan, which is yung Fx mo, component X mo, yung component Y mo. Similarly, sa rec naman, ang ipapasok mo dyan ay ang component mong resultant and component mong angle. So sabihin natin si F2, try natin, i-rec ko siya. We have 200 Newton pala, rather, with an angle of 90. So you can get comma here by shift comma, ayan. So this will yield us X is equal to 0 and Y is equals to 200 since it is acting directly to the earth. So if that's the case, pag tayo balikan natin yung side na to, we have a x-axis of 12 and a y-axis of 5. So giving us our resultant is 13 as stated here, 13 yung nakalagay dun, at ang angle natin is 22.62. Let's note it. So 22.62. So bakit yung correction ko dito? F1 then would be equal to, since we know that FR will be equal to F1 plus F2 plus F3, our F2 daw, F1 then would be equal to FR minus the quantity F2 plus F3. As you can see, yung F3 ko dito is yun nga yung kanina, which ipa-plug in na lang natin instead ng arcsine. Let's prove it. 5 over 13. This should be equal to 22.62. Ayun, same nga siya. So, ang FR natin is 500 angle. Okay, hindi ako na-complex. 500 angle 30 minus the quantity. So, F2 natin is 200 ng angle of 90 plus 180 tan angle of 22.62. So, shift to 3. Oh, shit. So, so our F2, F1 pala, is 267.55 angle negative 412. So since negative siya, nasa baba pala siya dito. So may data siya na pinapat dito sa original problem, which is yung gaano kalayo si FR kay F1. So we know that FR is originally nasa east of north, nakahawak siya sa y-axis, so it's simply 60. So we can get theta there is by adding only 30 plus 4.12. Since nandito sa baba si ano, di ba? Na-solve nating nandito siya sa baba. Andun pala si F1, so we will just add 30 there to get the difference between the two vectors. So let's have 15. Ito sa midterm exam namin sa P6. So, the vector A is 3.5 centimeter long, is directed into this page. Vector B points from the lower right of this page to the upper left of this page. So, sabi niya, ang vector B mo is from the lower right of the page. Kung ito yung page mo, lower right to the page to the upper corner of this page. Find the three components of the vector product A cross product B measured in centimeters squared and its magnitude. Assume that positive z-axis is going out of the page and the page is 20 by 35 cm. So yung positive x-axis mo is palabas ng paper, pero sabi niya yung vector A mo is papasok ng paper, yung 3.5 cm niya. Kaya ang ending, ang z-axis mo or ang k mo is negative 3.5 since it is inversely. So, ang paper natin is 20i plus 35g at si B is wala din siyang, hindi siya palabas ng paper or papasok ng paper, so it's 0k. So, negative si I na rin since sabi niya vector B points from the lower right to the upper left. So, kung ito yung Cartesian coordinate plane mo, yung I mo pala is nasa negative I axis. So, let's input shift mode pala, mode vector 1 0, 0, and 3.5. we have negative 20, 35, and 0. Cross product natin. Yielding us the cross product will be 122i, or let's say 123, decimal na, plus 70j plus 0k. So nakuha na natin yung component niya. Let's solve for the resultant, which is simply the magnitude. So square root of 122.5 squared plus 70 squared, giving us 141.1.